Ever wondered why your laundry looks like a modern art installation, and the fridge is an experimental piece on mold cultures? Welcome to the world of living alone as a college student, where chaos is often the order of the day, and your living space can quickly turn into an obstacle course of dirty dishes, discarded pizza boxes, and piles of unwashed clothes. Sounds familiar? Well, you're not alone. It's a struggle that many college students face when they first venture into the world of independent living. The freedom is exhilarating, but the responsibilities, not so much. Suddenly, you're not just juggling assignments and exams, but also grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, and laundry. It's like the universe played a cruel joke on you, throwing you into an episode of Survivor: The Dorm Room Edition. Now, let's address the laundry elephant in the room. It's a mountain, isn't it? It's as if you're expecting an avalanche of socks and t-shirts any minute now. And the dishes, they are threatening to form their own ecosystem. And let's not even start on the fridge situation. It's like a science experiment gone wrong. But here's the thing. While it might not seem like a big deal to live in a bit of a mess, it can actually have a significant impact on your academic success and overall well-being. Studies have shown that a cluttered environment can lead to increased stress, decreased productivity, and even poor sleep. So, if you've been wondering why you're feeling overwhelmed, or why you're struggling to stay focused on your studies, your living environment might be to blame. So, what's the solution? Well, it's not as complicated as you might think. It all starts with a bit of organization. And no, we're not talking about color-coded folders or alphabetized bookshelves. We're talking about simple, practical strategies that can help you manage your space and your time more effectively. Let's find out if there's a way to turn your living space from a disaster zone to a sanctuary of serenity. So do you want to be the master of your domain, or do you prefer to let chaos rule? Now that's a loaded question, isn't it? But let me tell you, there is no right or wrong answer here. We're all trying to navigate this thing called life, and sometimes it feels like we're walking through a thick fog. But don't worry, we've got a battle plan to help you cut through the confusion. First things first, let's talk about the importance of having a plan. Imagine you're a general leading an army. You wouldn't march your troops into battle without a strategy, would you? Being organized is very much like planning a battle. You need to know what your objectives are, identify potential obstacles, and figure out how to overcome them. It's not about being a control freak, but about making your life easier and less stressful. Now, let's talk tools. And no, we're not referring to hammers and screwdrivers. We're talking about tools that help you stay on top of things. Calendars, apps, lists. These are your weapons in the battle against chaos. A calendar helps you keep track of important dates and deadlines. Apps like Trello or Asana can make managing tasks a breeze. And lists, oh boy, lists are your best friend. They help you break down big tasks into manageable chunks. But here's the thing, it's not just about having these tools, it's about using them effectively. You might have the most advanced calendar app in the world, but if you're not using it to its full potential, it's as good as useless. So take a moment to think about the tools you currently have at your disposal. Are you using them effectively? Could you be doing more? In the end, it all boils down to this. Organization is not a destination, it's a journey. It's about constantly evaluating and adjusting your strategies. So don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. Remember, a warrior without a plan is just waiting to be defeated. So take control, devise your battle plan, and conquer the chaos. Ready to morph from a chaos creature into an organization guru? Let's dive into the practical steps to implement the plan we've just outlined. First off, let's talk cleaning schedules. You don't need to scrub your apartment top to bottom every day. That's a fast track to Burnout City. Instead, break it down. Maybe Mondays are for mopping, Tuesdays for trash, Wednesdays for wiping down surfaces. You get the idea. The trick is to make it manageable. Small tasks consistently done lead to big results. Now, on to meal prep. Before you groan and start picturing endless Tupperware containers of chicken and broccoli, hear me out. Meal prep doesn't have to be boring. It's all about planning. Dedicate a few hours on a Sunday to cooking up some tasty meals for the week. You can even make it a social event. Invite some buddies over, turn on some tunes, and make a feast. You'll thank yourself when you're tucking into a delicious homemade meal instead of a greasy takeout. Last but not least, study time. It's a biggie. It's so easy to let it slide, to tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow, but remember, tomorrow never comes. So, set aside specific study times in your schedule. Stick to them, as if they were a class. And remember, quality over quantity. It's better to spend an hour fully focused than 3 hours half-heartedly skimming through notes. Now, I'm curious, what are your biggest challenges when it comes to executing your plans? Is it the cleaning, the cooking, the studying, or maybe it's something entirely different? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's remember, friends, it's not about being perfect. No one is. It's about making progress step by step. Because at the end of the day, execution is the difference between a dream and reality, my friends. Ever cleaned your room only to find it looking like a hurricane site the next week? Let's be honest, we've all been there. You spend hours, sometimes even whole days, getting your space in order. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, chaos reigns supreme once again. Why does this happen? Well, the truth is, organization isn't a one-time event. It's not something you do once and then forget about. It's a continuous process, a lifestyle even. It's about developing daily habits that help keep things in order. Now, you might be wondering, what are these daily habits? Well, they can be as simple as putting things back in their designated places after using them. Yes, it's that straightforward. Done using your laptop? Don't just leave it on the bed. Put it back on your desk. Finished with your morning coffee? Don't leave the mug on the table, wash it and put it away. It's about taking those extra few seconds to keep your space tidy, and trust me, those few seconds can save you hours of cleaning and organizing in the long run. Another essential daily habit is decluttering. Try to make it a point to declutter a small area of your room every day. It could be a drawer, a shelf, or even just your bedside table. The idea is to prevent clutter from piling up and becoming overwhelming. Now let's turn the tables here. How about you? How do you maintain your space once it's organized? Do you have any unique or interesting habits that you'd like to share? Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. Remember, organization doesn't have to be a chore. In fact, it can be quite therapeutic when done right. It's all about finding the right system that works for you and sticking to it. And remember, organization is not a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. So, think you're ready to swap that laundry mountain for a Zen garden of organization? We've had quite the journey today, haven't we? We started off in the trenches of chaos, where misplaced socks and crumpled papers reigned supreme. But, like brave knights, we forged a battle plan, armed with color-coded calendars and an undying will to declutter. Remember the thrill of victory as we tackled the execution, descending upon our disarray with the determination of 1,000 spring cleaners? The satisfaction of seeing every item in its rightful place? Those were the days. But as every seasoned warrior knows, the battle doesn't end with the first victory. There's the ever-important maintenance phase, where we learn to fend off the creeping clutter with regular cleaning schedules and a strict one-in, one-out rule. And let's not forget the epic saga of the Forgotten Assignment, rescued just in the nick of time by our handy-dandy digital reminder. Talk about a cliffhanger. Now, I'm sure you've all had your own adventures in the land of organization. Perhaps you found an innovative way to stack your textbooks or a hilarious mishap involving a mislabeled folder. We'd love to hear about it. So why not share your tales of triumph and tribulation in the comments below? Just remember, every great organizer started off as a mere mortal, just like you. It's not about being perfect. It's about taking one step at a time towards a more orderly life. With a little bit of planning, a dash of execution, and a whole lot of maintenance, you too can conquer the chaos. Remember, the path to organization may be paved with misplaced socks and forgotten assignments, but with the right plan, execution, and maintenance, you too can become a master of your domain. Until next time, keep those socks paired and those deadlines met.